When you need advice, come to Ben and Kelly. It's group therapy on 99.7 DJX.
Trisha writes to us, "Hey, Ben and Kelly, I've been dating a guy for almost a year. Mm-hmm. We met just before the holidays last year, so I understood not meeting his family then. Mm-hmm. But here we are, right at a year, and he's still balking at having me meet his family. He tries to tell me that they're hard to get along with and he didn't want to scare me away. And that worked for the first 6 months. I appreciated that he cared enough to not want to chase me away. However, now at a year, I feel like he should know it would take more than a terrible family for me to leave. Mm-hmm. I can't help but to wonder if there isn't another reason why he doesn't want me to meet them. He sees his family a couple of times a month, even though they live an hour away. So if we're going to have a future together, I think this is an important step. Am I wrong there? I'm at the point where I want to take that step, and if he can't, I'm afraid that we're stuck. Is it a solid reason to break up if I don't get to meet his family for the holidays? Sorry, just frustrated. Thank you.
Trisha, maybe not that, but maybe the fact that he has a wife or something like that, that would probably be a reason to break up.
Like, are we sure he's visiting his family every time he's visiting his family?
Yeah. I kid. It does sound weird, though. It's like, let you decide. Let Trisha be the judge of whether or not she can get along with his family.
Exactly. And, Catherine is saying, is there no social media for this guy? Are you on IG? Is his family? Do they call? Does he mention you at all? There's got to be more than just not meeting them to dig into.
Yeah, I mean, the social media thing is definitely a place that you can kind of do your investigating. I'm sure you already have, quite honestly. I think at a year, I think it's kind of like it's time. Drew even texts in, my opinion, 6 months to a year, time to meet the family. 1 to 2 years without meeting them, get out of there.
Yep, there's got to be something to it. Marla is kind of with me. Is he really seeing his family? She says, follow him. Ooh. Follow him? Wow.
Follow him. Then what do you do? Do you like...
You sit there in the car and you watch.
Do you follow?
You have snacks. You have binoculars.
So then do you like surprise him at his family's place?
No,
I don't think that's the answer.
Don't do that. I think we just make sure that he's not showing up to another wife and children.
But then does that make you look crazy?
Well, maybe a little, especially if he finds out.
Yeah, like if he finds out, he's like, wait, hang on a second. You followed me to my place?
Listen, I didn't say it was without risk.
All right, 502-571-9970. Would love to hear your thoughts on this, and especially if you waited to meet your significant other's family longer than a year and what that circumstance was.
Listen, Shelley says, I was with my husband for a year before I met his family, and we were together 4 years before I let him meet my brother. I get it.
Okay. So there's, I guess, a side for her boyfriend.
Right.
All right.
There's one person in his corner.
All right. So 502-571-9970. Would love to hear your stories about that. And man, group therapy, meeting the family. How long should you wait before introducing your family to your significant other? And then maybe the better question is, with Trisha, is it a red flag if you've waited a year and you haven't yet?
Yeah, that's where she's at. She's like, is this like a huge red flag? Like, what's the, I could understand the first 6 months because he says his family's kind of awful and he's trying to shield me from that and doesn't want to scare me away and everything. But at this point, if they're going to have a future, she's like, I feel like now is the time. And Elizabeth said, maybe he's got another girlfriend who the family knows, so he can't take you to meet them, or that would make things super complicated. Maybe ask to meet them for dinner or a Sunday brunch, something less formal than a holiday gathering. If he still doesn't want to introduce you, I say cut ties. There's a reason he's avoiding it.
Hey, Zach.
I feel kind of funny that he doesn't want to bring her to his family. It just it doesn't make any sense to me. I mean,
Yeah.
Wouldn't you want to make sure that they get along right in the beginning, not waiting years and years later and then realize that they don't get along at all?
True.
That is a good point. I mean, I get the whole last year not bringing her around the family.
Yeah. First year, totally fine, just kind of feeling things out. But
Yeah.
after that, I mean, come on. If you're actually in it for the long haul, like, let's be real.
Do you agree with Kelly and others who say follow him?
I didn't say that.
No, because then if everything was actually fine, there loses trust right there, and then you could just ruin the whole relationship.
All right. Thank you.
I
Appreciate
didn't
it, Zach.
officially condone that method.
I 100% heard you say that.
For the record, no. I was reading someone else's suggestion. I was just saying how that could play out. You were like, well, do you walk up and say surprise? I'm like, no, not if you're going to do that. No.
For the record, I heard you say follow them.
For the record, I did not suggest it.
Now, Sally, you waited to like a while, didn't you?
I wanted to share that I actually had my husband wait to meet my family at 9 months. It wasn't a year, but it was 9 months. And he had met my mom about on Mother's Day. We met, I guess, in like February.
Yeah.
And I let him meet my mom, but I did not let him meet my dad or my brother or the rest of my family. And it turned out very well because once we were engaged, it was kind of like, okay, well, we could go ahead and I'll let you go ahead and meet him.
So wait, you didn't let him meet your entire family until after you got engaged?
Yeah, basically. But I let him meet my mom because we had a really good relationship. But it was also, there were a lot of like political factors involved, and there was a little bit, and I had actually like, kind of backed away from communication for like health reasons.
Okay.
Mental health. So anyway, it actually turned out being very like helpful and therapeutic actually for our family. And so when he actually was able to meet my dad was very like thankful, and it actually ended up being kind of a good thing.
Oh, thank you, Sally.
Okay, that's good. Now, Shelley is saying, Trisha, same thing happened to me. He had another girl, and his family knew about her. I wasted so much time. Megan has another good point. She didn't mention, has he met her family? I'd see it as a red flag, at least, if he's waited this long.
Well, then that seems kind of weird if that's the case. Trisha's getting all bent out of shape if she hasn't met his family, but yet reciprocated. Yeah, exactly. So I would
don't know. She didn't mention.
I would have to think that they've, or at least she's brought him around her family. I don't know.
Yeah, and then, there's another point that Jason said, just because he visits his family doesn't mean he's got a good relationship with them. He may truly be protecting you from a toxic environment until he knows you're ready, or he really prepares them about what you represent in his life.
So I don't know if we are using this as an ultimatum, and we're saying, hey, look, either I meet the family or I'm out.
Yeah.
But
it never yields the best results.
Yeah, but I do think that there needs to be this is what my feeling is.
Right. This matters.
And this matters. And if you and I are to have, a future, I want to be, and I want to know all of your family and all of you and what made you you and all that fun stuff. So
yes. And I'm really curious to know, like, are they even aware that she exists in his life?
Yeah, that's true too. All right, Trisha. Well, hey, good luck. Let us know what you do. Keep us posted. That is group therapy.